So I was scrolling through TikTok on my For You page, and something had come up about the banshee, and I can't stitch it because the creator didn't allow that. Kind of not the point anyway. But it ended with the person telling a story about how their parents or one of their parents had heard the banshee. And it kind of reminded me of my own experience with this. I don't share a lot of personal experiences here, so I thought it'd be fun. So, one thing to understand about the banshee are, I should say Minashi, with the plural, are harbingers of death. They show up to sort of warn that someone is going to die, and usually they'll appear to someone in the family or connected to the family. Occasionally, just random sightings, and I don't want to go too deep on Minashi lore, but there's some other things associated with them, like they're not just omens of death. But the important thing to understand here is they're particularly associated with specific Irish families, generally those whose surnames end in Mac or O, and are known to appear to these family lines, to warn of a death. So my ex-husband is a McCarthy on his mother's side, obviously a Daimler on his father's side, hence my last name. But McCarthy is one of the families that are associated with having a banshee. Specifically Cliona in southwestern Ireland, if anyone was curious. Doesn't particularly matter here. So once and only once in my life have I heard the banshee, and it was legitimately the most disturbing, eerie experience I think I've had. And I mentioned my ex-husband in this because he heard it as well. We were actually awakened from a sleep. This was, I want to say, like 4 a.m. It sounded like if you could cross the noise that wind will make if you leave a window or a door cracked slightly and it's very windy, with like someone screaming. It was the strangest sound I've ever heard. It woke both of us up. We were both asleep. And it went on long enough that, you know, it was pretty clear something strange was happening. It wasn't just like a dream and I woke up. I have never heard anything like it before in my life. I've never heard anything like it since. It was really just this one-time experience, but it was so disturbing and so eerie. It has really stuck with me in the years since it happened. I believe it was an omen of his grandfather, who was a McCarthy, his grandfather's death, which followed shortly after. But yeah, very, very strange, very disturbing. I had read in studying folklore that hearing the banshee, some people thought it might have been a confusion with like foxes screaming or things like that. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's nothing like what I heard. We had no explanation for it. It was just a genuinely strange experience. But the only thing I could attribute to within the sort of context and frame that I have to work with is that it was the sound of a banshee. And then, as I said, his grandfather did pass away shortly thereafter.